Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be learning how to make this kimono dress with snatched waistline, as you can see in the video. So this is going to be a DIY tutorial. If this is what you want to see, do stick around and watch the video to the end. Here I have my tape rule, my scissors, my chalk, my ruler and my fabric. I'm using 2 yards to make this dress. If you're on a bigger side, you can do 3 yards. So now I'm going to draw the starting line. After drawing the starting line, we're going to divide our shoulder measurement by 2. Mine is 7.5 inches and I'm just going to make a mark at that. My neck width is going to be 3 inches and the neck depth is going to be 4 inches. That line where we marked our shoulder measurement, I'm going to come down by 1 inch and that will be for our shoulder slope. Now we'll be connecting all the lines together. The next thing I'm doing is to extend my sleeve. This will be a cut together sleeve. So I'm using 7 inches for my sleeve. So I'm just going to connect the shoulder slope to the new line we have, which is the sleeve. After connecting, I'm going to take my round armhole measurement and divide it by 2. And I'll add 1 inch to it. So my round armhole measurement is 12. I divided it by 2. That is 6. And I added 1 inch to it, making it 7. So from the shoulder line, I am going to take my bust point measurement. My bust point measurement is 11 inches. My waist measurement, I'm going to be using 16.5 inches. And my hip line is going to be 24 inches. And I'll connect it to a straight line. On the bust point line, I'm going to divide my bust measurement by 4 and I'll add 2 inches allowance to it. On the waistline, I'm going to divide my waist measurement by 4, which is 7.5 inches. And I'll still be adding 2 inches allowance to it. On the hip line, I'll add my hip measurement divided by 4 and I'll be adding extra 3 inches allowance to it. I will take my tape and measure the full length of my dress. The full length I'm working with is 56 inches and I'll be adding my allowance. Now from the sleeve, I'm just going to connect my armhole as shown and I'll be connecting it all the way to the bottom part of the dress. So this is the armhole we're using for this dress. For the shoulder line, I'm going to add ½ inch to the shoulder line as my allowance to join the shoulders together. Now this is all what we have been drafting. I'm going to cut out my neckline and do the same thing for the dress. Now after cutting, this is what we have, and this is the full length of my dress. So what I simply did is to fold my fabric into two, and I placed the front part on top of the back, and I'm going to cut it the same way. Now the difference between the front and the back is the neckline. Initially I did 2 inches for the back neckline. After sewing, I discovered that could not fit into my head, so I later reduced the neckline to that of the front. So I did 2 inches initially, but I reduced it by 2 inches again, making it 4 inches, because there's no zipper on this dress. If you want to add a zipper to this dress, just add 2 inches zipper allowance to the back and connect and add your zip. So I'm just going to pin this down all together, the front and the back together, all the way to the bottom of the dress. Now after pinning it together, I'm going to place my tape rule on the shoulder line as shown, and I will mark my waist measurement. Remember, we used 16.5 for the waist measurement, so I'm just going to mark that right there. Now after marking my waist measurement, I am going to come up from that waist measurement by 1 inch. I'm going to come up by 1 inch because we're going to be attaching our loops to that part. So I have 1 inch, 2 inches, that is 2 loops. I'm going to add another 1 inch, making it 3 loops. We'll be adding 5 loops to this part. If you want to do 4 loops or 3 loops, that depends on you, but I want 5 loops by the sides of this dress. So I'll mark my 5 loops, as you can see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After marking this part, since we have the loops on one side, what we're going to do is take our scissors. So we'll be using our scissors to make tiny notches. Since we have the front and the back parts together, we're going to be notching them together. So I'm just going to make sure I have the front piece and the back piece touching each other, and I will make tiny notches, and this will appear on both sides because we're going to be adding our loops. So I'll make the first notch, the second notch, till we have 5 notches. The thing with this dress is, if you want a very snatched waist, you can use 5 loops, but if you do not want it very snatched, 4 loops will be enough. So I've made my 5 notches on the side of the waist, and I'm going to be removing my pins. So this is what we have left from our 2 yards of fabric. You can see how we managed this, and we still have this one left. So what I'm going to do is to mark out my strap for the loops. So I'm using 1.5 inch width, and the length is going to be 12 inches each, or 15 inches. So I'm going to take this to my sewing machine, and I'll sew both straps. I'll be sewing them, and I'll come back to show you what it looks like. Now after sewing, these are the straps. You can see how tiny they are. So I'm going to be marking how long I want my strap to be. So I made use of 3 inches for each loop. 3 inches. So I'm just going to use this 3 inches to cut all the loops that I'll be needing for this dress. The loops I cut out will be 10, since we have 5 inches, 5 notches on each side of the dress, so I'll be needing 10 loop. Now these are all the loops together. So we're going to take our dress and I'll place one loop like so, just going to fold it like so and place it on one part that you notched, since we have 5 notches. So you're going to take one loop, place it on the dress and pin it together, because we're going to be sewing this. So just use your pin to put them in place. So this is one. So I'm going to use my sewing machine to tack this together. I'm just going to use my sewing machine to hold it in place so it doesn't move. And I also went ahead to cut out turning for the neckline. So I'm going to sew this neckline and I'll make a top stitch. This is the back neckline. I reduced it later on. So after sewing, this is what it looks like, and I also tacked down our loops by the sides. So I'm going to place the front and the back right sides facing and pin it down by the shoulders. So I'm going to sew my shoulders. I'm going to join the shoulders together and make sure that my dress aligns by the side. And I'll be sewing this with my allowance. So the first thing I'm going to do is to fold my sleeve and join the shoulders. Then after that, I'm going to sew with my allowance. I'll be doing it for both sides. Fold the sleeves, join the shoulders and the bottom part of my dress. I'm still going to fold the bottom part of my dress. Now, after folding everything together, this is what it looks like. And these are the loops by the side. And this is the bottom part of my dress. So to have a snatched waistline after wearing this dress, you're going to be needing a very long strap to snatch the waistline. Please do not forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave your comment. Thank you.